Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Scorpio is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. All right. And if there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And a 6 of Wands. This is a pretty big win here, right? Pretty big win. But what is this victory? I see that you're going to be feeling very confident and very proud of yourself. Well, let's see why. Let's see what's going on in your life that might be helping to foster this. Okay. Ooh, Eon or Judgment. We've got the 5 of Wands. We got 3 of Swords. We also have some very strong Leo energy. This is the Prince of Wands. And the 4 of Wands. A lot of fire right here. Moving from what is, or what was, a difficult situation into tremendous fire energy. I think we're really letting something go here. We're really processing whatever this pain or loss was that we've experienced, and now it's pure fire, right? And we're leveling up with this fire. This is big. Big, big. 2 of Swords. Another fire. 9 of Wands. More fire energy. 10 of Cups. Oh, there we go. And then, of course, we have some balancing Libra justice or adjustment energy here at the end, right? And this is what we're striving for, right? We're striving to make connections, to connect both with ourselves and with our purpose, our passion, our creativity, all of this spiritual fire that we see, but also connecting with others in our lives, connecting with perhaps a particular network involved in whatever business or projects you're working on, right? So making the literal connections, but also the more subtle or spiritual connections. Now we're going to select one mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is, whoa. Sometimes that happens where a card will just come out of that as I'm shuffling, and that's the 9 of Pentacles. That's really nice. I mean, that's a good one. That's kind of a surprise. Hey, guess what? Not only because I was going to say, when I do my overview, that we've got our major arcana. We've got a lot of fire. We've got some water. We've got some air. We don't have any earth. Well, before I even had a chance to complain, here's some earth energy for us, right? Showing that this is taking place in the physical world. It is going to result in physical, tangible success, right? So let's just use this as the mystery card before I end up dropping everything. We're going to put that right there underneath Mr. Bates, aka Kevin. Now, we're not going to look at that card until the very end, and it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during the reading you get an idea, a sense, a feeling of what that card is, I want you to put your prediction in the comments below. Let's see if we can tap into our intuition and start discerning that mystery card together as a group exercise. Yeah, you're here, I might as well put you to work. But first, let's take another look around the room here. Because we have our 2 major arcana, right? This is a lot of fire energy. And even this major arcana, this is pure fire energy, right? This is a fiery doorway. This is your portal here. And this could be related to the 1111 portal, which does kind of extend 3 days either side of November 11th. And on the other side of that, we really have these connections. Not only do we have connections, like I said, but we have balance, internal balance, right? And that's why we've got all of this water energy here. To kind of to cool us off, as we penetrate through the atmosphere. Then we're going to need a little bit of temperance. Maybe we'll get temperance in the mystery card, perhaps. So we have our water anyway, which is good. And then we've got our air, which I think is what we are overcoming, right? This is what we are separating from. This is a really big shift from this darkness here to all of this light and creativity and brightness and love and success and beauty. And of course, arriving with something to show for it, here with the Nine of Pentacles. So this is a very, very good reading. I think this is really a huge shift for you. I think this 1111 portal is really making a big, big impact on your life. Okay. The first thing that we see is that it is bringing an increase of confidence, an increase of ambition, of creativity, of a sense of pride, right? And we need this. In this case, we need the ego to be expanding. We need you to get away from this Three of Swords, okay? And to do that, we need some ego inflation. I know that's kind of a bad word, right? I think, you hear ego death, killing your ego, losing your ego, shrinking your ego. Here I am talking about expanding it, right? Because you need that. From where you're coming from with this Three of Swords, this was a situation or a belief or a memory or an event or a history, a past, that was keeping you in a little bit of darkness spiritually, okay? And we're separating from that. This portal, I think, is really, and it's a literal portal too. I mean, we have the card of portals here with the Eon. It's this doorway that you're walking through. And to do this, to make this the greatest success that you can, to really get the most out of this, you've got to have a lot of confidence in yourself. You've got to believe in yourself. You have to have a bit of a swollen head, right? I don't say that very often. Most of the time with this card, I say, let's be careful not to let it get too big. In your case, no, let's increase it, right? Believe in yourself. Believe that you can do anything. Have the confidence to walk through this doorway, this portal, because this is not going to be easy. Now, you may already be feeling the shift with this Three of Swords. This is a lot of emotional pain and baggage, trauma, sorrows, loss. But not that is currently happening now. This is the memory of that. This is us kind of being stuck in that energy, reliving it, remembering it. And when we do that, we start to feel as if it's happening right now in the present moment, even though it's not. Because we're in our head, we're in our feelings about it. Right? We start thinking of that past situation, and here we are feeling the same feelings again, and that's keeping us down. I think that has been keeping you a little bit restricted from your true nature. Okay? Keeping you a little bit closed off to the possibilities, to what you're capable of. Okay? So, the Eon or Judgment card, rebirth, reawakening, baptism by fire. This is the portal to the future. This is the doorway through which you must choose to go. And choosing really is closing the door on that past energy and saying, no, I'm not going to be weighed down or restricted by that anymore. I'm going to be confident and strong and capable. And you deserve all of this other greatness that's here, right? Life is not going to be the same after we go through this door. And it's a door that will shut and close. Okay, we see all fire energy going forward. And even in the Two of Swords that we have here is the general energy, which we'll talk about. It's not fire, but it's not exactly air either, okay? And so we have that confidence here. Now, what are we doing with all of this confidence? Well, moving forward on the horizontal axis here, we end up with a Four of Wands. Now, this is, I think, the Four of Wands to me is kind of like the, it's like a temporary campsite, you know. It's where you might go and stay for a night or two and then kind of move on, right? So this is kind of some temporary lodgings in your wanderings. But I think that this is the first step on this path where we need to tie up some loose ends. We need to finish up a lot of things that we've been that are kind of unfinished in our life right now. Maybe there is some relationships that kind of need some closure. Maybe there are some conversations that you need to have. Some I don't know, promises that you need to fulfill, or paperwork you need to sign. You know what I mean? There has to be something that signifies the shift between the past and the future here, right? So this card's about tying up loose ends. This is the card of completion. And this is really the symbolic way, even if maybe it's literally like, finishing some paperwork or whatever. It's a symbolic closure that you need, okay? And this card is also talking about the way forward, kind of indefinitely as we go. And the idea is to finish what we've started. Okay. And this is the commitment to your creative efforts. This is the commitment to whatever you're working on in your life, right? If you're focused mainly on career or job or business, right? Your work. If you're focused on your creative work, your family life, if you're focused on friends, you're focused on your spirituality, right? Whatever you're focused on, we have to be sure that we complete things step by step, And this is the opposite of this card, really, or the shadow side of this card, is starting a lot of things but not finishing them. Okay, and maybe you could acknowledge that. Maybe you can see in your life where that tends to happen sometimes. Well, it's not going to happen anymore, right? With this new confidence is the idea that you can harness and focus your creative energy to get things done, kind of, one thing at a time. Not maybe more than one thing, but you know what I mean. Completing these goals, setting some expectations for yourself and meeting those, okay, as a series of steps in your path. Yeah. And that's because we've got this Prince of Wands up here. This is fixed fire energy. This is commitment. This is an energy that can focus on the task at hand, is not distracted by other interests, does not wish to start so many things at once, right? Wants to really stay committed and focused on the matter at hand, of what's going on right now in the present moment. And this is your ability to fix your creative energy on that, to really focus your creative energy. Yeah. Which is to say, concentrate, concentrating on the work that you're doing right now. Because I think if we look at the Three of Swords again, we kind of see how this type of energy might really be interfering with our concentration, right? In a very practical way. Maybe we have been very distracted. Maybe we have been starting a lot of things and not really finishing them. Because we get pulled away, we get distracted, we get back into our thoughts and feelings, and we don't really complete the tasks that we've set out to complete. Well, that's changing now. Okay. Now, part of that is the Five of Wands underneath everything, because this is the engine of the entire system, really. This is the fire that's burning within you. This is the ambition. And this may be manifesting as an increase in a sense of competitiveness, or it may even be marked by being a little bit more temperamental than usual, a little bit quicker to anger, easily frustrated, because you are trying to focus, and it feels like there's no tolerance for distraction, no tolerance for nonsense, right? Because you are so fixed and you are so confident now. We have to be careful with this, because this is a very delicate trio of cards, right? A 4, a 5, and a 6. A 4, a 5, and a 6. A 5, and a 4. They fluctuate. They can really flow between each other. And we want to have the balance, right? We want to maintain enough equilibrium here. So, yes, our ego does not get too big, and then we start really overdoing the Five of Wands, that force, that power, that directness, right? And then maybe we would go back to our old ways of kind of leaving things unfinished. Yeah. So this is a balance that we need to establish. And we're doing that here with the 9 and with the 2 of Swords, which we'll get to in a minute. Back to the 5 of Wands for a moment, because this is the really crucial with this one. The 5 and the 6, really, more than the 4 even. The 5 and the 6, they need to go back and forth because one is really expansive, the other one is more disciplined. So as the ego inflates, we also have to have the ability to focus it, right? And the more the ego will inflate, the more we'll feel like, well, I can start a million projects and I don't need to finish any of them, right? Or that they will get done somehow. It's a little bit of hubris that can come into it. So we need the 5 of Wands with that restrictive Saturn energy to hold us to account, right? So it's a competitiveness, not so much with anyone else in your life, but more a competitiveness with yourself. Holding yourself responsible, holding yourself to account for what you commit to, for the things that you begin. It's the discipline, right? It's the discipline. It's the kind of discipline that forces you to get up and exercise in the morning when you really don't want to. It's that kind of active discipline. Yeah. And that is what is going to accomplish so much in your life and bring us to this 9 of Pentacles. And the 9 of Pentacles, as we see, wasn't even really part of the plan until it jumped out of the deck for the mystery card there. So this is kind of an added bonus, I think, here. Now, we're going to shift to the path of the Serpent, and as I do this, I'd like to ask that you hit the like button, that you leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, okay, especially if this resonates with you. All right, thank you. I appreciate you. Okay, so the 2 of Swords is, it's air energy, yes, but it's nothing like the 3. Okay, the 3 of Swords is very restrictive. This is Saturn in Libra. So this is a very tight air energy. It's going to hold you in a certain negative energy mostly, right? It's not always negative, because we do need, obviously, there's a 3 of Swords in the tarot deck. It's here for a reason. It's not just to say, oh, there's bad stuff back there. It's our ability to use our imagination, use our mental vision, our mind's eye, right? It's our mind's eye. And most of the time, this mind's eye is envisioning things that are not good for us, that were not good for us, memories, bad memories, right? Sometimes it's good to process those bad memories, right? There's a usefulness in that. There's a reason why we have this mind's eye. There's a reason why we can visualize. Some are more, adept at that than others. But there's a reason why we have an imagination, okay? We can either dwell on the past and get stuck in that negative energy, which is what I think we're shifting away from right now with this portal. We can use that imagination to process all of that negative energy, those memories, that history, that trauma, and then move forward, and then start envisioning no longer the past, but now imagining the future. Now imagining the future, yeah. So we do need this energy, but we need to use it in the right way. And in order to use it in the right way, I don't think we have been lately. That's why we're seeing this shift here. But to get back to utilizing that in the correct way, we need the 2 of Swords. And this is, first of all, it's peace. It's peace of mind. It's learning how to stop dwelling on that past stuff, right? And it's not about using our imagination to visualize something else to distract us from thinking about that old stuff. It's about giving the mind a rest altogether, right? It's an effort to be open and receptive, right? This is the moon in Libra. It's trying to use that psychic sense, not the mind's eye necessarily in an intellectual way, but to receive energy, right? To receive the gift that this portal is bringing you. To begin to use your imagination in an intuitive way. So we have to learn to do that. Maybe through active imagination, not so much that, I don't think. Not yet. I think through breathing exercises, through quiet meditations, one-pointedness, through a bit of mindfulness, but not in the way where we're just mentally registering everything that we're doing, you know. It's an effort to just perhaps just be in one particular sensation. You see what I'm doing? My fingers down, rubbing them together. One impression, either one image in your vision, one sound, or one sensation, to the exclusion of all the others. Close your eyes and just rub your two fingers together. Just focus on what that feels like, and try to get closer in your mind. Try to get closer and closer and closer to that until you can even feel your fingerprints and how they're just kind of rubbing together, right? Focus on a very minute sensation and try to just exclude everything else, right? So it's not about increasing the mental activity. It's about reducing it down and focusing it, creating a bit of a peacefulness there. Okay, and I think that'll open you up to more intuition. Then we'll be able to use our imagination to visualize this. I mean, this is probably why this card popped out. This is you living your best life. You've got your pets, your plants, your people. Right? We need to intuitively know. It's kind of a presentience. It's kind of a clairvoyance. We can see what our future is going to be, and this is going to be it. Right? Now the colors may be different, and you may be dressed a little differently than this figure, but that'll be you. Okay, and that's what we need to begin to visualize, and in an intuitive way. Okay, so the Two of Swords, yeah, sometimes it's about a choice, you know, that's kind of an obvious on-the-nose thing, but this card is trying to not necessarily transcend the intellect, but skirt around it for a minute, for the time being, you know. And that leads to the Nine of Wands, strength. See, we've got the connection here with the moon. Sun and moon here connected. Your consciousness turned inward, trying to tap into the lunar essence that's in the Two of Swords. And it's all really related to this Libra energy, which is the Libra energy that we see here. Libra is creating this perfect trine here, right? Between the 3 and the 2 of Swords, and of course the Justice or Adjustment card, which is kind of like an Ace of Swords. See, the figure's holding the Ace of Swords. So we have a 3, a 2, and a 1, and a perfect trine of this Libra energy. I would check your Libra readings on this channel, and if there are any prominent Libra people in your life, I think they're very important to you right now, and you would do well to perhaps open up a dialogue with that person. Okay, just to have a connection with them, and see what might be there. Okay, see what maybe opportunities or in some way they're going to have, I think, an important piece of the puzzle for you. Okay, and there may be an L name in there too, and maybe they're not a Libra person, but I think they would either be a Libra or they'd have an L name, and this is that Justice or Adjustment card, and there's someone with whom you're meant to connect with. I don't think on a romantic level necessarily. Maybe it'll turn into that, but that's not the point. On more of a professional level, right? As equals, but so it's not like a mentorship or like a learning thing. It's more of a networking business connection or something like that. Okay. Now back to the Nine of Wands. This is real strength. It's the strength that we get from turning our mind's eye inward, connecting with that lunar essence, that psychic sense, our intuitive abilities, connecting with our imagination. And I feel like that is giving us the vision of the future that we need and the strength that we need to regulate all of this fire energy. You've got an intense fire energy about you right now. And I think this 1111 portal is bringing this energy in. And it's going to probably feel very new. And we're going to need a little bit of water to cool it off. Now, this water is this is the difficulty, because when we're in all of this fire, it's difficult to want to cool off. We like this burning ambition, right? So we got this 10 of Cups, though, which says that we must use this fire energy wisely to create our vision of happiness, right? What is the ideal life for you? What does it mean to be happy? We're not meant to burn in this fire energy forever, right? This is a means to an end. This fiery, awakened consciousness, this ambition, this creativity. We're creating something, right? This is the ideal of what you're creating. Every aspect of your life is finding fulfillment, right? This is perfect happiness. Perfect happiness. And, of course, that perfect happiness, you can never achieve it, right? You can never be perfectly happy. There's always something that's going to... Things are fluctuating all the time, right? There's always something, right? But that's the ideal that we strive for. And this is us living that life where we're focused on our happiness. We're focused on what's important to us, what our values are, what's meaningful to us. And we're living that best life. See, the best life is not something that you attain, that you receive, and then you're done. It's not an object that you get. It's in the living. It's in the doing of it, right? Doing the work, living, dealing with the difficulties, right? Knowing all the while that you're getting closer and closer and closer to your ideal happiness, your ideal life. We may get so close to this ideal that we don't know that we're not exactly 99.99999, right? Basically a 10, but not quite. There's always a little something that we could do differently, or that could be better, or that we wish didn't happen, you know. It's in the process of doing that we get such stimulation and satisfaction. And I think you're shifting into this energy now. And I think this is really big for you. I think this is huge. I think your life will not be the same after this shift. Let's look at the mystery card. Thank you, Kevin. I'm feeling really fired up with this energy. There's a lot of fire here. I wonder if this will be more fire. Maybe the Temperance card, which is, of course, more fire. Maybe this will be your power card. Maybe it'll be the Death card. Right? I don't know. I want to say it's more fire because I'm feeling hot. I'm feeling the fire energy. The heat coming off of the table right now is intense. So that's my prediction. If you have a prediction, put it in the comment section. All right. I'll give you a moment. See if anything else comes to me. Oh, I'm kind of getting an Empress feeling too. That's a nicer feeling than all this fire. That's a little more chill, right? Well, let's see what we've got. Oh, well, I was sort of Queen of Wands. This is kind of the best of both worlds, right? It's water and fire together. And this, in my mind's eye, kind of resembled the Empress with the seated position and stuff. So not too far off, I guess. But this is fire, right? It's the Queen of Wands. This is perfect. This is exactly the confirmation we want because it is the temperate, ambitious individual. It is all of this fire with the water, with the important, with the values inside of it, right? Water of fire. The water is within that. The water is what is driving and fueling all of this fire. That's your meaning. That's your purpose. That's your ideal life. That's your ideal of happiness, your picture-perfect happiness that you want. The ultimate attainment that you can imagine. And this now is you doing this fiery work with that ideal in your heart. This is perfect, right? Because now all of this fire, you understand that it's for a reason. It's a means to an end. There's a purpose behind it. There's a purpose within it, I guess, with this one. So this is good. This is good. It's a maturing of the Prince of Wands, right? It's the Prince of Wands now with that commitment and that focus and that activity, but now with an understanding of why we're doing all of this work. See, the Prince of Wands doesn't understand why, doesn't care why, just wants to do it. And now there's this understanding of why we're doing it, why we want to do it. Right? And it's interesting, in the midst of all of this fire, what we need is a little bit of the subtlety of this air energy. We need the shift between the 3 to the 2. We need to find that strength to understand our ideal, make the right connections in our life. Balance our fire and water. Be the judge of our own life and our own decisions. This is really, really nice. Beautiful reading for you today. We're going to do an extended. If you want to stick around, click up here in the corner. New readings for Scorpio every Wednesday and Sunday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.